him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They got me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I order blood on my tongue, thinking it's a warm glue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. The throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up. I'm drinking knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come be brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks, you use Decepticon. Straight rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans, get defeated. High in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To get that honey sauce on me, I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What is going on, everybody? It's your man, Dre Mac, coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, get up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And on today, I am going to discuss this recent interview with Variety and Kevin Feige. There was a lot of stuff going on with Bo DeMayo said on X. It's a lot going on right now within Marvel that I have to discuss, especially when it comes to what Kevin Feige said, about Kang, all of that. It was just, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's going on. So hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant React channel. But you already know how I do. The real question is, are you
say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let me see who is all in the house today. This a like I said, there is a lot going on right now, especially after what Bo DeMayo, some of the comments that Bo DeMayo said, I can literally back up, especially because people forget that that Variety article came out shortly after everything happened with Jonathan Majors. People legitimately forgot that that Variety article came out. And you know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, give me just a second. You don't know what I'm talking about. Is the article about, you know, giant, well, basically it was talking about the state of Marvel, and they so happen to talk about Jonathan Majors situation in there. But the way that the article was going about it was Jonathan Majors was the catalyst of everything that was going on, and not actually Marvel, you know, and the things that Marvel had going on. And as soon as I find this soon as I find that article, then I'm going to talk about it, because like Variety is not slick. Variety is not sick. And you know, like I said, I think that, you know, there it is. I knew I would find it. Hold on real quick, and then I'm gonna get to everybody that's in here. I knew it was Crisis at Marvel. And that Crisis in Marvel article, Jonathan Majors it hasn't been found guilty or innocent yet. But I'm gonna tell you about the timeline. We're gonna get into the Bo DeMayo of it all and what he was saying, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But let me check. Let me shout who's all in the house right now, and then we're gonna get into all of this, because there's a lot of mess. There's a lot of messiness. They talked about, I believe in the original article, they talked about what's going on as far as like played. It's a lot. It's a lot. Kevin Feige is doing too much. So let me get into that real quick. Torian Rain Reloaded, good morning, good morning, good morning. Andre Ware, good morning, good morning. Sharita's up in the house, good morning, good morning, good morning. Persetis up in the house, good morning. Maverick 77, good morning, good morning. Junior Network is up in here, good morning, good morning, good morning. Michael Johnson, good morning, good morning. And happy early birthday to you, Mr. Michael Johnson. Marley Mars up in here, good morning, good morning, good morning. Enrique, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me see. Tina, aka Minty Gasm, is up in here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Tracy Woods, good morning, good morning. And Wavy Thames is up in here. Good morning, good morning. Free Spirit, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, American DJ Girl, good morning, good morning, good morning. You said you was coming. Glad you up in here. So let me give you guys a recap. So back in November, this article comes out in Variety, right? Now, you know, I don't think this is a spoiler, you know, people know, you know, or anything like this, but you know, I got to meet Jonathan, I got to rap with him and stuff like that. Very good brother, God bless his brother, you know. But some things was going, you know, the thing that happened with Marvel, I had an opportunity to ask him what happened. You know, did you even know any of this? Like, because soon as after the verdict, he was fired. I was like, did you have any idea that they kind of had a feeling they wanted to pivot away from me? He said, I had no idea. This is not something that has not been spoken, because I have to say it like this, that has not been spoken out loud. You know what I'm saying? When TMZ or anything has talked to him. So I'm just echoing what he said to me, and he said to TMZ when the lady came and asked him, what did you think about all of this that was going on? Did you think you got a fair shot? Did you think you got grace? This and the other. I just so happened to was able to ask him for myself. He had no idea, you know. And my whole idea is that, you know, is where did the pivot come from with Marvel? Now, it's not Jonathan Major's fault that they wrote Kang absolutely horribly at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp of the Quantumania. And I actually said this on X. It's not Jonathan's fault, which I should make sure to, let me hold on real quick. But it wasn't Jonathan Major's fault. The way that Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania came out. That's not his fault at all. Nobody said, hey, you know what we should do? Have the big bad of the MCU that's getting ready to be our Thanos level guy. Because remember, that's what everybody was pitching. You know, oh, this is our Thanos level guy. This is the, you know, the next big bad in the MCU. You know, especially the way that when they were tearing them down, you know what I'm talking about. When they were tearing Jonathan Majors down, they was like, oh, he's going to be the next big bad in the MCU. You know what I mean? He's gonna be the next Thanos. This is gonna be Thanos level threat. This is gonna be Thanos. They kept saying that until you look at the end of the movie. You're like, you have this dude get defeated by Ant-Man. Like, this is what you have. You had this dude get defeated by Ant-Man. So that had nothing to do with him. That had the box office numbers. Paul Rudd's Ant-Man's movies has always been not as lucrative as, you know, you would say like a Thor film and all of that. It's nowhere close to it. Nowhere close. The movies do not make the money that they have. Let me see, because there's a lot of there were so many articles and stuff like that went up. So let me handle the Jonathan Major side of this before I get into all of that. Before I get all into that, let me make sure that I shout out the magnificent crew, because y'all do be holding it down for Dre Mack, and I really appreciate it. Let's go, Dre Mack and the crew. Let's roll. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching, and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right. So thank you everybody who was part of, as Blue call it, the magnificent crew. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you guys, you know, with everything you've done. If you have it, all you got to do is hit that join button on the main Dre Mack YouTube page. It should have join, only $2.99 a month. You could be able to get all the early access to every video that I do. You know, normally I do my videos, I do an early access, and they go out in the evening. When I do a video, I even might have a video that's going to be outside of this, talking about how people are now again grifting on my girl from The Last of Us. Now that she's in Mortal Kombat as Jay, they tripping on her for not having hair. And it's a big uproar. Look what they did to the character, knowing damn well Mortal Kombat chases their characters more times than draws. So, somebody got to do what they got to do and when they got to do it. So that might be a video that comes out later on today. So I just wanted to let y'all guys know, you know what I'm saying, what we got coming forward. All right, let me shout out everybody else. D Stizzle was up here. What's up? Erica D, aka She Loves Fantasy, and I know that that you sent me Pam, Sister Pam Entertainment Television was live earlier talking about the same thing, because again, this is stuff that we cover. This is stuff we covered the whole Jonathan Majors trial. You know what I mean? I got a whole playlist with everything that I covered from that Jonathan Majors trial on my channel. You know what I mean? And talking about the Variety article. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that was going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of foolishness too. Justice No, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nemesis, good morning, good morning, good morning. Rashad Walker, what's up? What's up? The Informant Media, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Azale Ray, good morning, good morning. Okay, so like I was saying, when I talk to Jonathan, you know, again, I just re-asked the question that they said on TMZ. You know, in the TMZ conversation I'm talking about is when they stopped them coming out the gym and they said, "Hey, Robert Downey Jr. is taking your spot. What do you think?" Blah 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 blah. Yaggity yaggy yak. I basically re-asked him the same question that we talked about it, and he said the same exact thing. The same exact. He didn't know. He didn't know. Only thing that he knew was there was a phase that was set up for him, this multiverse phase, and he was a big fan of the multiverse phase. You know what I mean? What's up, Tyra J? What's up? What's up? What's up? You know, yeah, I said the same exact thing. Xavier Phoenix, what's up? What's up? So he didn't know, so he got blindsided. So since I have run this up, and I'm saying this before I get into everything, because the Blade stuff is messy. Is Kevin Feige, man, this is a horrible look as far as Kevin Feige. But let me get to the Variety article real quick, because I want to get to the exact point where this kind of goes downhill. All right, give me just a second, and let me share my screen real quick. So this is a Variety article. Now, remember, if you don't remember, this Variety came out in November of 2023. Jonathan, he got sentenced in, what was that, December? No. What was when he got sentenced in? Yeah, I think it was, because we end up going there in April. So I think it was a little bit after this. But let me just give you this real quick, and then we'll get on to what Bo DeMayo said about Marvel and what they had going on and all of that too. So it said this past September. This was September. Now, the timeline. Jonathan Majors got in trouble technically the end of March, right? The end of March. Remember, Jonathan was arrested after he called the police about his girlfriend. Let's just put that out there. That's what happened, right? So this was March. This was right after Ant-Man and the Wasp of the Quantumania. This is during this was right after Ant-Man and the Wasp of the Quantumania, because we just got off the Creed press tour. Right? So it said this past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibes would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand owned by Disney since 2009 has remade the entertainment business in its image. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from the series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of his biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond the movies into streaming. The most pressing issue was discussed at the retreat is what to do about Jonathan Majors, the actor who has been poised to carry the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is headed to a high-profile trial in New York later that month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists that he is a victim, but the damage to his reputation and chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider his plans and to center the next phase of his intergalactic state sequel spinoffs series around Major's villain's character, Kane the Conqueror. Okay, so in the first portion of this was in September. He hasn't been convicted, charges hasn't been dropped, no nothing. But in September, they're saying Variety. This is Variety. Variety is saying they're already pivoting towards this because of what happened in March of 2023. So they're already pivoting in September, which is technically what, 6 months, or let's give it 5 months since everything happened. What are we gonna do? Now, the reason why Jonathan took it to trial because of the evidence, Grace being arrested in the Chinatown Police Department, all recap all through my Jonathan Majors coverage in the playlist. He felt like he can go to court and win because of the evidence, right? That's the reason why he took a trial. Obviously, he was convicted on technically two of the 6 charges. Yes, 2 of the 6 charges, because it was reckless assault and reckless assault, which is technically 1, and a misdemeanor city citation of harassment, right? But what they're saying is, nope, they were already trying to pivot away from Jonathan Majors because of this, even though he wasn't convicted or anything, because exactly, Eric, both of them were misdemeanors. Matter of fact, the reckless assault is the lowest level of misdemeanor as far as assault. It's the bottom barrel one, right? They already was like, nope, we're done. We're out of here. One was a misdemeanor, one was a city citation. But they're saying Marvel was like, nope, we're out of here with this and the other. Now, that has to do with Kang. Let me get to what the Hollywood Handle said via Deadline. The Hollywood Handle, and I'm going to share this portion of my screen. The Hollywood Handle said, Kevin Feige says, even before what happened to Jonathan Majors, we have started to realize Kang wasn't Thanos. So you're telling me now, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. Matter of fact, I just want to make sure. Just to be on the safe side. Hold on. Give me just a second. So Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania came out February 6, 2023. So you're telling me after the end of this movie that you were like, nope. Now, it wasn't Jonathan Majors' fault, and Jonathan Majors wasn't in trouble at this time. You know what I mean? Jonathan Majors wasn't in trouble at this time. Let me say that again. Jonathan Majors was not in trouble at this time. This literally came a month later. Puma Lee, make it, what's up? This literally came a month and some change later, the whole Jonathan Majors thing, right? And again, Power Sandri, who I spoke with myself. Now I'm going to speak to this. I spoke to her myself. She said that they had all the evidence. They gave all of the evidence to Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg decided to drag this out where they could have just settled. This is from what she said to me personally. You know, I'm going to say it. She said if Alvin Bragg would have just gave us a plea, we would have even took that instead of all of the hoopla that went on. You know what I mean? I came to the conclusion that Alvin Bragg, which was the district attorney of Manhattan, was trying to go after big fish. I said this. They were trying to go after big fish. He was going after Trump. He went after Weinstein. He went after Kevin Feige. He went after Kevin Porter Jr. And then he went after Jonathan Majors. All high-profile cases, while at the same time neglecting a lot of other major crimes that was going on in New York that had nothing to do with with a name brand that he was called out for. Again, I have videos about that. There's a complete video all about that I did. I just don't want to rehash because I don't want to make this like 8 million years long. Right? So everybody knew. Everybody, there's not people that's stupid. People knew that Jonathan Majors was the best part of Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania. That's what everybody said about the movie. Well, you know, Jonathan Majors did an amazing job. Jonathan Majors did an amazing job. Jonathan Majors did an amazing job. That's what was said, right? This is what I believe, and I retweeted this out, that I believe I'm calling bullshiggity on Marvel. And this is why I'm calling bullshiggity on them. I forgot I had these around my neck. I had these around my neck all night. I'm calling bullshiggity on Marvel. This is the reason why. I'm calling bullshiggity because I believe that they did not want to pay Jonathan. Jonathan was up for a $20 million contract for, I believe, the movies and TV show appearances that he was going to be in. Whether it was Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania, Loki Season 2, Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars. You know what I mean? So they did not have to pay him for his services, right? Now, mind you, they paid him 20. They were going to pay him 20. What the rumor was, or the estimated amount was, what we heard at that time is they were going to pay $20 million to Jonathan Majors, right? Now, what has been one of the biggest issues in Marvel? Not paying the actors, right? We went this with Scarlett Johansson, you know what I'm saying, and other people. Anthony Mackie finally got a pay raise. Now here comes Jonathan. Jonathan literally was not a household name, but he was getting buzz as the next big star. So Jonathan was coming in technically because of the rise of him, was coming in on the cheap. Listen to what I'm saying. He was coming in on the cheap. They make this Loki season 1, one of the highest rated shows on Disney Plus, right? The big standout was Jonathan Major. Everybody was excited. Everybody of the fan cast were true. Oh snap, Jonathan Major. We seen what he did in Lovecraft Country. We seen what he did in the next the Last Black Man in San Francisco. We seen him what he did in Devotion. We seen this man's resume coming in. The Five Bloods, which is the first time I technically seen Jonathan Majors was in that movie, was the Five Bloods. You know what I mean? Lovecraft Country. I mean, he already had his buzz there. Now you getting this guy in on the cheap. You set him up. You said after his audition, we go throw the bank. Really, they just got him in on the cheap. If you really want to talk about Hollywood stars, you know what I mean. So they got him in. All of this stuff. They wrote that movie terribly at the end. Let's be honest. Nobody is going to Peyton Reed, you know what I'm saying, and blaming him. Nobody's going to Peyton Reed and blaming him. They are trying to put all the blame on Jonathan Majors. This is just like if Thanos in Infinity War, got beat by Falcon. This is the equivalent. If I'm lying, I'm dying. But just like if you were sitting there and you were watching Infinity War, it did all of a sudden Falcon comes in and beats Thanos. You're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, what? Why you think some of us are still looking at Brave New World like you had Red Hulk fight Captain America, Sam Wilson? What? The guy with no powers, you know what I mean? Really? So that's the equivalent of what we seen at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Matter of fact, I even said Hank Pym needs to, if they're going to kill some people in the movie, why can't you just kill Hank Pym? Guess what? Whatchamacallit just retired. Who plays Hank Pym? You know what I'm saying? Good God, I can't think of his name offhand right now. I'm looking at it right now because I'm thinking of Romancing the Stone. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But that's just like him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he should have. He should have. Michael Douglas. Thank you, Chill. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas should have been. There should have been stakes. They gave Jonathan no wiggle room. So what it sounds like to me. What's up, Mika G? I need my text back on Alfonso too, Mika. If you know what I'm talking about. But they gave Jonathan Majors, Kang, no stakes whatsoever to be like, okay, this is something that we need to be really afraid of. They made Thanos snap everybody out of existence. They made Jonathan Majors lose to Ant-Man. Those two are not comparable. Was that Jonathan's fault? No. So the pivot we were going to pivot, towards away from Kang even before the situation came out is bull crap. You know what I mean? Is bull crap. You know what I mean? Because you could have just rewrote the guy, or it sounds like to me. Here's the other thing that and this has nothing to do with Jonathan per se. Well, it does, but what it sounds like to me is that you sabotaged the movie so you didn't have to pay him and go into this next phase. What it sounds like, because you had a problem with paying your actors, but yet you brought back Robert Downey Jr., which there's a Variety article that I did when I talk about bringing back the old Avengers. As I did a whole video, I'll get to that video too. But let me just get to this real quick. Let me share my tab real quick. This is what Bo DeMayo. I got to get to Bo DeMayo because some of y'all don't like Bo DeMayo. Y'all think he's disgruntled or whatever. But I really believed Bo DeMayo. I believe him in this instance because if I don't know, I'm not about to sit around just to be tweeting all day so people can see me. Now I know there's people out here that'll tweet all day, be like, "Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me." I know that. But if you really think about Bo DeMayo and Rob Liefeld is not going to be just saying certain things that both of them are not talking. I don't think both of them are talking on the phone with each other. Like, yeah, we're going to get on Twitter or we're going to get on X and just say, God knows what about Marvel. They have been saying the same things. Let me get to this. Okay. First of all, let me get to old Bo about what he was saying. He's been saying it's just going to go into Blade too. But I wanted to bring up this because we got to get to Recast T'Challa, all of this, and the article. There's a lot. When I tell you there is a lot going on here, there's a lot. It's troublesome. Okay, so Bo DeMayo, after the Majors news broke, Marvel Studios told me Majors would likely be off the table for the plans with Kang and X-Men 97 Season 2. He's saying when the news broke, that was March. But yet this is what I'm saying. I believe Kevin Feige's lying to save face. I believe Kevin Feige is lying because earlier he said, well, in the Deadline article, we always wanted to get Kang off the table, right? We always wanted to get Kang off the table. Even before the news broke, we wanted to get Kang off the table. But it said after, this is him. This is Bo. Now, I'm not going to, until somebody from Marvel tells me that Bo DeMayo's lying, I'm going to take him at face value. Why? Because he was an employee there. He was the employee there. Right? So after the Majors news broke, Marvel Studios told me Majors would likely be off the table for my plans with Kang and X-Men 97 Season 2 as they awaited the verdict, which would determine if he'd be recast in the MCU. I then casted John DeLacy as Kang as I felt Q would be great. would be a great template for him in animated form. Also, this should be obvious. Kang has massive connections to Fantastic Four. It actually makes far more sense both logically and emotionally for Kang to come back to kidnap Franklin Richards, his ancestor, and than it does Doom. This is he was absolutely the end game. So to tell me that you already was gonna take Kang off the table made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. It made no sense to me whatsoever. Kang was always going to be the end game. So to sit up here and in the way that they did it, again, like I said, I don't care how you feel about Jonathan Majors. Whether you think he's the worst person on the face of the planet or you think he's innocent is not my bag. I don't care. I'm not here to convince you that this guy is the best human being that ever existed. I'm not here to tell you that he's the worst human being that ever existed. I'm talking about the semantics, because the semantics is Tuwak Nuarta had a situation. The semantics is Jeremy Renner has semantics that went on. You know what I mean? The semantics were that the father who played in Miss Marvel had a lot of semantics that go on that could be frowned upon. Vin Diesel even had a SA suit came onto him, no different than Shannon Sharp. I'm gonna be real. We gave Shannon Sharp hell for that. Guess what? Vin Diesel, who plays Groot, and you can get anybody you can say, I am Groot, I am Groot. What I'm saying is the semantics. Nobody said, hey, because of this guy's situation, he's off the table. They gave, because of Jeremy Renner's situation, he came to Marvel and said, hey, I think I need to be let go. I think I probably need to get up out of here. Yet they gave him a show. The thing that happened with Tuwak Nuarta, but we let it play out, even though it was a bull jive. It was a bull jive, but they got grace. That's why Jonathan said, I just want the same grace that you gave Robert, that you gave Mr. Miller. I'm just repeating what he said. So if anybody go back and say, oh man, I'm just repeating what he said. Because I ain't got time for the bull crap. I don't. So that's why he said, I just wish I had the grace that y'all gave them. He didn't receive grace. Is all I'm having. Is all I'm saying. He didn't receive the grace. So now the optics is looking like you didn't want him in the first place because you didn't want to pay him. Is what it looks like. That's what the optics looks like to me. And Bo DeMayo, because of his situation, let's be honest, did they not destroy him with rumors and all this other stuff? Because he sued. He brought a lawyer in, said this, that, and whatever happened, people was looking at Bo like he was crazy. But yet, let's look at the optics. Let's look at the optics. Bo gets fired. He says some things happen. This is that and the other. Yada, yada, yada. They made Bo to be like they made Bo look like Diddy. If you look at the time that was going on, they was making Bo look like Diddy. Tell me that if I'm lying, I'm dying. You know what I mean? If I'm lying, I'm dying. All right. Here's some more stuff that was going on. And like I said, I'm going to get to Bo, and then I'm going to get to the article. You know what I mean? And I want to finish everything with Bo because Recast T'Challa is a part of this too. That's why I said Recast T'Challa. It's funny. Have you noticed? We're going to talk about Recast T'Challa here. We're going to talk about what happened to Jonathan Majors. Bo got his 2 cents in. Is there a common theme that I'm noticing? Is there a theme that I'm noticing here? Let's keep going. All right. So Scott Mills said, regardless of whatever, this is true, the narrative of secretly planning to replace an acclaimed young black actor as the primary character while promoting him as a star attraction with an older white actor whom you use 10 times as a different character isn't a great look. And But that's why I said semantics. Rashad Walker, you on the right path, baby. You on the right path, baby. Bo DeMayo says, bingo. It's a sad state of both the industry and the fandom that people are not calling out clear and patent racism and just tone deafness across all corners of Marvel Studios. Now, I know he went through a situation with Marvel Studios. I always blame Disney. I'm starting to merge, which I think both of them are doing the fusion dance. Right? Yeah, so while let me read the rest of what Bo had to say. Yeah, so while telling Majors that he will be the next Thanos, Kevin was secretly making moves to replace him with a white dude. Anyone who's been looking for the plantation vibe, I warn folks about with Marvel. Nate Moore, their only black head and producer, gone, and they just did a round of DI layoffs internally that was hushed up. Like I said, I'm not going to deny anything Bo is saying because Bo worked there. I ain't gonna talk about people that work in the McDonald's if I ain't never been in McDonald's. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm just going to go down the timeline of Bo, and then we're gonna get to this article and talk about what Kevin Feige had to say. And while the greatest respect for Eric Pearson, I find it troubling that we still won't get a Blade movie pinned to development by the community he represents, and that's Marvel Studios for you. Okay, so let's do a recap. Blade, Jonathan Majors, Bo DeMayo's situation, Nate Moore's situation, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Nate Moore, recast T'Challa. I'm just trying to say there's a whole lot of boy, but we're gonna get right back to it. Let's just take this quick commercial break. This is your man Dre Mac. I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mac Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever on the road, with only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
This treasury is not sold in stores, and when you call the toll-free number now, you also get another entire album of all-time gospel favorites.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. And if you want some butter biscuits, I got something up my sleeve. About this butter biscuit thing, a little mini movie. So, if we ain't getting Miles either, for what I understand, we can't touch Miles. We were told not to touch Miles. Is it? Y'all seeing the theme? Is all I'm saying. We are you seeing the thing? And Torian. So I gotta get to the super chats. My bad. So Dre, you're saying the decision not to recast T'Challa was not on Nate Moore or Ryan, but on Kevin Feige and Iger. I personally believe that it was the board. And the board at Disney put a memo down. And I truly believe that not only Kevin Feige's job was in trouble, but a lot of other people's job was in trouble. You know what I'm saying? If that recast T'Challa stuff. I truly believe the board at Disney did not want that. I truly believe the board at Disney didn't like the fact that Jonathan Majors was going to be the next big bad and not a older white actor. I believe that Disney's racist. Their board is racist, and they put a memo down to Marvel Studios, and Marvel Studios got shook. And Marvel Studios are doing stuff following it because I believe there's always a head. I believe there's a head and the crap trickles down. That's what I believe. And all of that trickle down because everybody else can be recasted. Everybody else can go and do their thing. Matter of fact, we already know about Josh Brolin's situation with DV. We know Williams' hurt history with DV. It didn't have a problem recasting William Hurt after he died from cancer and because of his situation with DV. They had no problem hiring Josh Brolin with his history with DV. But all of a sudden, Jonathan Majors has made an example. Not saying that he's right or wrong. I'm not trying to convince you that the guy is right or wrong. I'm talking about semantics, the optics, the way this looks, the broad spectrum. It ain't a good look. It ain't a good look. Erica D with the 999 super chat. You're cooking. Thank you so very much. Let me make sure to get you this.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you, Erica D, for the 999 super chat. Miss Roberta said, how much did they pay Robert Downey Jr.? Get them likes up. 21 likes, but 65. Can we get some likes? What is going on? Can we get some likes up in here? Get the thumbs up going on. You heard Miss Roberta. She's going to take out the chocolate. All right, let me go ahead and do this.
Gang bang, gang bang, gang bang. You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat. Gang bang, gang bang, gang bang.
All right, thank you so very much for those super chats. All right. All I'm seeing is everything. I'm looking at things in an optic point of view, and they look trash, Marvel. They look very trash. So, again, let's go back to Bo. In 2023, I was working on season 2 of X-Men 97. Who has Kang in it? Major would have voiced the character. I remember seeing John Wick 4 in March of 2023 with a top executive at Marvel at the American Movie Theater in Glendale the weekend the news broke about Major's legal trouble, discussing how Kang was definitely the game plan, and the studio was afraid. He is straight up lying. Variety needs to do journalism and stop being contracted PR firm for Marvel Studios' pathetic attempts at damage control. Why? Because why did Bo say this? Why did Bo say this? Because we actually have the article that said in September. That's why I told you they are lying, right? They are lying. In where is it? Where it says the date? This past September. And then they get into Jonathan Majors what to do with the next Kaner. But they said that they were going away from him before the situation is come on. So who's telling the truth? Who's actually telling the truth? Y'all see what I'm saying? That's why I said I'm going to give Bo DeMayo the grace. You know what I mean? Because now Variety already made an article, right? Kevin is saying that we did that beforehand, right? So again, somebody lying. Again, Bo DeMayo again moralizes Trump level of delusion spin. Kevin talked about the decision to pivot for him. You know what I mean? So this is the same thing. Bo DeMayo is just letting them have it. It was like, okay, check this out. This is now we're getting in the blade. Now we're off of Jonathan, right? I wanted to go down here before we get into this article, right? I wanted to get I wanted to get it in here because this is telling you what Marvel really think, and I believe it's coming from the head on down, and especially with Trump being in office. In the ridiculous story that I heard that Trump won't even approve a new stadium for the Washington Commanders until they revert their name back to the Redskins? Are you kidding? Who gives a flub? We got other stuff going on in the world. But man. All right. So he said, let's talk about the meeting where the top execs would talk about and objectify my body while telling me I would have pitched that idea, Bo, but you can't because you're black. Or one top executive telling me in front of a crew or in front of the crew how woke they were for hiring a Wesley Snipes lookalike as a writer for the film. You can't tell black stories if you don't respect black people, and Marvel Studios can apparently do neither unless Coogler's involved. Yeah, I just said I'm going to give Bo DeMayo the benefit of the doubt in this. Because, again, as somebody who lived in LA, as somebody who has friends that worked in Hollywood, this sounds really familiar. A lot of people don't like to talk about this, but y'all want to focus on Diddy putting baby oil and stuff like that. I'm trying to tell you, those Hollywood parties are even worse than anything y'all heard about them Diddy parties. And I'm not joking. But y'all talk about what Bill Cosby was doing and all of that. They've been doing that in Hollywood. Just Bill Cosby, they tried to make an example out of Bill Cosby. To say, look what he's doing. Harvey Weinstein is a prime example of what all of the execs do in Hollywood. What all of them do. It ain't just Bill. It ain't just Diddy. There's more Harvey Weinsteins out there than it is Bill Cosby's. Because, there's not a lot of black people with power in Hollywood. And when I mean power, I mean executive power. There are movers and shakers that can get things done. There's not. I know personally. I got a good friend. I'm not going to mention his name. I got a good friend who worked in Hollywood. He was an actor and a writer. It ain't Diddy party is light work. That I'm gonna tell you what the whole Diddy thing is a black man imitating his white master. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you like it is. That's a black man trying to imitate his white zaddy. That's all the Diddy parties is. Hollywood is notorious for this. Hollywood's notorious. Why they call it Holly Weird. All right, let's hear more about, because we're gonna get to the Variety article, but let's hear what he had to say more about with this. Okay, so bullshiggity, Variety and Marvel Studios. Your fans deserve better than PR spins and lies. We should talk about some of the things that top crews said and did behind the scenes that led to a culture that had black assistants coming into my Atlanta office near tears about sexist and racist toxic abusive work environment that I reported to the studio in September of 2023, only for them to brush it under the rug and remove me and anyone who complained about the project. Or when Ali himself chastised studio leadership for trying to push a white apologist script that shoehorned Dane Whiteman's great-grandfather as Blaze happy white woke helper through production, only to have black leads and crews speak out about the racism and problematic tropes. But sure, over explanation, Kevin. Do people really buy this bullshiggity? Ryan Coogler and Ryan Reynolds better made a better Blade movie at the time it took Marvel not to make one. It's not over explanation. It's bad leadership, bad racism, and general incompetence. And this is just talking about Blade. Talk about Blade. Okay, so let's get into the Variety, the new Variety article. Where we at? Nope, that's not the one that I wanted. Hold on, give me just a quick second. And while you're giving me a quick second, let's go to another commercial break. This is, of course, The Dre Max Show.
Will be
Right back.
taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. Get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let's give me just a quick second here. Okay, yeah, whatever. So I just said there's a lot going on in Marvel Studios that Marvel Studios and Disney that I don't think is really being talked about. But Bo and Rob Liefeld has said a lot of similar things. The way they're treating people, the way that they're treating people. So I'll make y'all hungry with the biscuits. But but I think it's the way that they're treating people at Marvel Studios. I believe because they're coming down. It's coming down. This is the reason why we're getting this. All right. So Marvel's plans to recast the X-Men and eventually Tony Stark after Avengers Secret Wars, but reboot is a scary word, says Kevin Feige. You see all the recast this, recast that. Who's missing? We're gonna recast the X-Men. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We might even eventually recast Tony Stark. Who are we missing? A whole movement, you know what I'm saying, went out for recast T'Challa. You know, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Review had the most popular one. Because there was a petition, there was other petitions for recast T'Challa. E-Man's caught fire. Right? E-Man's caught fire. Right? E-Man talked to Nate Moore himself about recast T'Challa. Marvel knows this. But yet, guess what they missed out of this article? All right, let's get into this article and let's see what they're talking about. The all-new X-Men are coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and an all-new Tony Stark would eventually join them. In a wide range of conversations with press on Friday, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige confirmed that the following events, the 2027's Avengers Secret Wars, the company will recast the superpowered mutants for his upcoming X-Men movie directed by Jack Schaefer, Thunderbolts. Now, let me stop right there. If I'm not mistaken, as much as that picture of Diddy, y'all can't see it, but that's hilarious. But if I'm not mistaken, was Thunderbolts a box office success? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Was Thunderbolts a box office success? Put it in the chat. And if you put no in the chat, you're absolutely correct. Right? Even though I like the movie, it was not a box office success. Yet, Jack Schaefer can literally move up in the company. We're being unsuccessful. Being unsuccessful can give you the biggest franchise. Dude, the two biggest franchises in Marvel history has always been Spider-Man and the X-Men. They are the top tier. Always been. Go back to the old comics. Spider-Man has always been in the forefront of comics. It used to be Captain America, but Spider-Man is the main solo attraction. The X-Men are the main team attraction. That's the reason why they had to sell it, because they knew they sold it to Fox because they knew that they can, you know what I mean, that they can make money, right? So you're going to give the biggest franchise to a guy who failed, technically. Like, again, I said I liked the movie, but it didn't make any money. And again, Bo DeMayo would probably say, I don't know Bo DeMayo personally, but he would probably say, it's funny how white people can fall forward. It's funny how white people can fall forward. A black man fall, he fall on his face, he cast it out, and he's made to look like the worst human being on the face of the earth. It's there. It ain't that I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. Or fall upwards. Thank you, Urban Guru. Fall forward. Fall upwards. He going up beyond her. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Majors again. You know what I mean? Again. Not saying what he did was right was wrong, but there's other examples of white men who will be giving grace, yet he's on the outs. We didn't want him anyway. We wanted Robert the whole time. You know what I mean? Even though he sent the letter to Kevin, he did all this stuff. Nope, we don't need him. We don't need him. But other white men who's been in this situation, hey, come on down. You know what? We all been through it. It's okay. I told you about the hypocrisy that I faced with TMZ. Why do you think I ain't on TMZ? A white man can say somebody anti-Semitic, oh, he's going through a hard time. Black man retweets a book and got to go on an apology tour. I'm just saying, on TMZ for 2 years. Just saying. Anyway, let's keep going. Many of the actors who starred in the X-Men movies in the 2000s and 2010s are reprising roles in 2026's Avengers Doomsday, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alec Cumming, Rebecca Romaine, yada, 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 who cares? All right, Dr. Strange and the Multiverse of Madness appeared as April Coy in the post-credit scenes of the Marvels. I want to get to the good stuff. In future films, however, X-Men characters who appeared in previous movies will now be played by new actors, along with mutants making their big screen debut. The decision echoes changes in the composition of Marvel Comics following the 2015 Secret War storyline, which involved multiple timelines collapsing and reconverging, mixing up characters of the main Marvel timeline in the process. We're utilizing that story not just to round out the stories we've been telling post Endgame. Just as important, you can look at the Secret Wars comics for where that takes you. It's very, very much sets up the future. Feige said Endgame literally was about ending. Secret Wars is about the beginnings. But Feige, who was also careful not to characterize the changes as a reboot, instead the executive said Secret Wars will serve as a reset. Reboot is a scary word, he said. Reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Reset, singular timeline. We're thinking along the lines later. He added X-Men is where that will happen in next. Kevin Feige noted that the X-Men comics, with their focus on Xavier's School for the Gifted Youngsters, naturally centered on stories about adolescent characters. There have been a place to tell stories about young people who feel different, who feel other, and who feel like they don't belong. He said that's the universal story. That's the universal story of mutants, and that's where we're going. It's funny that you talk about this, Kevin, about the mutants, and you can barely get, you can barely, and I'm gonna just say this, you can barely ride for the black people that's at your studio. People came out and attacked. I don't care how you feel about Ironheart as a show. I don't care if you like it or you dislike it. I don't care. But ask yourself this. When all that review bombing was going on and all that hatred towards her and all of that, what was Marvel Studios press to say, hey, we're not going to have that type of stuff here? Did you see it? Because I didn't see it. What about Disney? Did Disney come out and do a press to say, hey, look, we can't, go for, we got to put an end to all the things that are going on when it comes to our black characters. We see that, There's no place for that type of hatred, that type of energy here. We want to enjoy characters and look like the people outside your window. Was there any of that? Repeating what Stan Lee said years ago? Stan Lee had balls enough to put it in the back of his comic book. We ain't got no place for bigotry and racism in 1968 on Stan Lee's soapbox. And here we go in 2025, and Kevin Feige, the head of the studio, who came out and said how wonderful Chadwick was, and all of this and all of that, and how the character role recast, it's still not gonna come out and say, hey, we have no problem. We have no place for racism, bigotry in this land. Especially in this day and age. Should tell you something. Hell, you don't even want your character be smart and intelligent. So James Gunn had to show you what a strong black intelligent character looks like that can have a badass scene. Let's keep going. Even more intriguingly, Feige also indicated that other Marvel characters would eventually be recast. Listen, this is the key. Listen to this. Even more intriguingly, Kevin Feige also indicated that other Marvel characters will eventually be recast, including his most iconic roles like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. He pointed to many other major film franchises that have done the same thing over multiple times. But you said, do I got the clip? Do I got the clip? Hold on. Do I got the clip? I gotta see if I got this clip. And Chill know what clip I'm talking about. Chill knows exactly what. Let me see if I got this clip. Just from Kevin Feige's own mouth. Let me see if I got it. Oh, it's not in there. It is not in there. Hold on. Because I got... See if I can find... If not, I just pull up Chillmonger's. There. Chillmonger, you are a mother... man. The mother... man. Because he knew what I was looking for. Come on, X. Give me what I want. What the heck? There we go. There we go. Hold on, y'all. Thank you, Mr. Chillmonger. We just read this. This is what Kevin said. That's why I said, lion.
Chadwick Boseman was an immensely talented actor and an inspirational individual who affected all of our lives professionally and personally. His portrayal of T'Challa the Black Panther is iconic and transcends any iteration of the character in any other medium from Marvel's past. And it's for that reason that we will not recast the character.
Because he knew what I was looking for.
To honor the legacy that Chad helped us build through his portrayal of the King of Wakanda, we want to continue to explore the world of Wakanda.
Let's run that back.
Chadwick Boseman was an immensely talented actor and an inspirational individual who affected all of our lives professionally and personally. His portrayal of T'Challa the Black Panther is iconic and transcends any iteration of the character in any other medium from Marvel's past. And it's for that reason that we will not recast the character. However, to honor the legacy that Chad helped us build through his portrayal of the King of Wakanda, we want to continue to explore the world of Wakanda.
They told you exactly what they felt. They told exactly what they felt about that. They told you. They told you. But yet, we gonna recast our famous characters. The ones that we have. That's what we're gonna do. But as far as your character, nope. far as your character, nope. Nope, 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 and more nope. This is what, hold on. Where to go? Yep. We gonna give you everybody that we gonna have them multiple times over, except for the Negro that y'all want, that y'all did a whole petition about. The one that y'all did a whole petition about. The one that a critic out of Chicago said, you can't erase him. He's Black history. 60 years. I told you we were going to go from Jonathan, Blade, recast T'Challa. We can't get Blade. They exiled Jonathan. When they called him the exile one, they wasn't joking. And then we can recast everybody else except for the King of Wakanda. Listen to this. Amy Pascal and David Heyman are now searching for a new James Bond, Feige said, referring to producers of Amazon's MGM upcoming Bond film. David Cornswith, the new Superman, he was awesome. That will always be the case. Feige acknowledged that the stars who have retired their original MCU roles, like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, have made it difficult to imagine anyone else in the character's shoes, but it isn't an impossible task. You're telling me that it wasn't impossible to replace Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., who had way more screen time, way more movies than Chadwick Boseman. But Chadwick Boseman, his characterization just superseded everything that came before. That means Jack Kirby's iteration. Nope, Chadwick Boseman was greater than that. Christopher Priest iteration. Nope, greater than that. Reginald Hudlin, greater than. We don't care nothing about that. We don't care what you got to say. Chadwick Boseman's 30 minutes of total screen time was greater than anything that has came in 60 years of the Black Panther franchise. And for that reason alone, we would never recast him. You won't even see him in a cartoon. So when Bo came out and said, hey, that wasn't our decision to put T'Chaka in X-Men 97, that's the studio. And y'all telling me I can't believe it? I can't believe Bo? Oh, I forgot about Monica Rambeau. Where's her movie? Or her TV series? Where's Rhodey movie or TV series? Wonder Man, though. Wonder Man. I'm just saying, Kevin Feige is full of ish. He's full of it. He is full of it. I think I missed 2 super chats. I'm so sorry, guys. I missed these super chats. Free Spirit with the 199 super chat. Speak the truth. Thank you so very much, Free Spirit. I am so sorry. And when I get in these bags, I'm not in my joking bag today. I'm in my bag, but I appreciate you.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Think you wanna be my enemy.
Thank you so very much. Puma Lee with a $2 super chat. Dre, are they removing the black marbles? That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. This is Hollywood for you. This is what Hollywood does.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you guys for your super chat. I do apologize. Sometimes I get in my bag and I kind of forget. So I apologize if I miss your super chat. Hey, look, I want Frank here too. This is okay. So again, shout out to D Sizzle for that too. But this is one of the reasons why I was so guarded for Ironheart in Dominique Thorne, because I know what Marvel is doing. I'm not saying go out there and lie about the show. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Not saying that. I'm guarded because you see the writing on the wall. You see it. So, yes, I'm a little bit more sensitive towards it. You know what I mean? Even though I enjoyed the show, you know, man, I'm guarded because of what they have been doing to black talent. As much as I don't like the fact that they got Yaya being Wonder Man, a white character, elevating that white character instead of elevating, I don't know, T'Challa. You know what I mean? I'm still guarded at Yaya, though. I'm still going to be guarded at Yaya because I don't want him to get the bull crap that everybody else is going. I just don't. You know what I mean? That's what it is. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think it's hard for anybody to do that when an actor has done such a great role. How are they going? How are they going to replace Sean Connery, James Bond? Right? At least 2 legacy actors may still appear in the MCU as well. Asked about his plans for a follow-up to Marvel's 2024 blockbuster Deadpool Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, Feige, in typical fashion, made no definitive statement, but also did not close off any possibilities. I think there's more fun to be had with both of those characters, but we'll see. And that is the end of that article. I think Torian sent me another article, but I believe this is just the things that we've already discussed. But again, when it comes to, like, literally, Kevin Feige made the perfect example when he talked about James Bond. James Bond has been played by how many actors over how many years? But then when it came to T'Challa, nope. He just supersedes any iteration. He died of cancer. William Hurt died of cancer. No type of conversation was had about him. And yet, not only did he get recasted, he had a history of DV. Even in a book. Yet, what happened? What happened? I'm trying to tell you, man, this stuff is so blatant. This stuff is so blatant that and that's what it is. Some of the reason why I was rooting for James Gunn's DC and wanting Superman to do well. Wanting Superman to do well. Because if Superman does well, then James Gunn knows what's going on at Marvel. He can open more avenues up for black characters over there. But let me just take a really quick commercial break. I'll be right back with more of the Dre Max Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. Get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. This has been very interesting. This has been a very and again, people gonna say, well, why are you pulling the race car? Because this is what the detractors are going to say. You always pulling the race car. You're a race baiter. Oh, the detractors look like me too. You're a race baiter. You always talk about race. Everything is about to do with race. When you see it blatantly in front of your face, I'm just supposed to ignore this. I'm supposed to ignore the simple fact is that Blade was announced 6 months ago, and it took how long for Ryan Coogler to write Sinners? How long did it take him to write Sinners? 6 years. You know what I mean? 6 years. Then you take a person. This is what I think pisses me off. You replace Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle, right? All right, fine, cool. We act like Don Cheadle was not a successful actor in Hollywood. That's an award-winning actor in Hollywood. You know what you really regulated him to? Sidekick. He was cool when he was a sidekick. You say, hey, we want to make sure that we get you a movie, you know, or a TV show. Yet, Armor Wars, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And I thought about this too, because people's like, you know, Riri should have been a part of Armor Wars. Technically, I agree. But if you have no Armor Wars, how can you have how can Riri even interact with this guy? This guy, they had no problems interacting with Sam Wilson because he's a part of the United States government. But you're saying somebody who's using the same tech that you have can't show up in your show. You're telling me that all of Wakanda, that Queen Ramona makes this press conference about the king being dead, but none of the black actors, none of the black superhero, hell, even Bucky can't go to his funeral? Find out what happens, see what happened, what's going on? You're telling me you can announce Jessica Jones coming back? Pretty successful show on Netflix. Daredevil coming back? Pretty successful show on Netflix. But my man Luke Cage, you haven't heard a peep. And when I met Mr. Mike Coulter himself, you know what he told me? I'm not about to press these people. I'm waiting on them to call me. Marvel could call me. Who also said that? Did Mahershala Ali not say the same thing? And I keep saying, what is all? It's what do these people have in common? Jonathan Majors even sends a letter out. Nope, we don't want you. We don't want no parts of you. We're done. All of that. Even though now there's nothing legally, just like with Jonathan, legally with Jonathan, just like with Shannon Sharp, there's nothing you can do to these people ever again in that particular case. Jonathan is went on. He's having a happy life with his wife, you know, starting a clothing line, athletic wear, you know what I'm saying, with Maggie. He's having a happy life, right? There's nothing you can do about that, man. That situation is over. Legally done. Just like Josh Brolin's. Just like William Hurts. Just like Tarek Nawata. The situation is done. Vin Diesel, done. Just like Shannon Sharp, they settled. This is without prejudice. Same thing with Jonathan. It's done. There's nothing you can do yet. Are they reaching out to Jonathan? Like they reached out to Josh Brolin knowing his history? What about Mahershala Ali? An Oscar award-winning actor who was sitting on the back burner while Marvel twittered their thumbs about what they're going to do. What's going on with him? I'm not mad at him. I wouldn't wait either. Why? You give the prestige actor of Samuel L. Jackson, one of the worst, to me, the worst Disney Plus show ever. The worst. I'm just saying, you allowed James Gunn, who you fired, and people signed a petition to get him back. Right? And he does a better job with a genius level black talent that you ever did in a show. Black male talent. Just saying, the writing is there. But yeah, you want to focus all your energy on Wonder Man instead of the established characters that you already had. What about Rhodey when he was a Skrull? How long Rhodey been a Skrull? There's so many questions that need to be answered that has not been answered. Yet we getting ready to watch Wonder Man. Does that have anything to do with anything we're doing? Who knows? Who knows? But that's all I'm saying is, and remember, in the article I sent you, I told y'all last time, this was let me see if I got that article. This was the studio's plan the whole entire time. Why is that there? Hold on. Let me see if I got some. Give me just a second, just so I can see if I got this article, and I can give you a kind of wrap up on this whole thing, to wrap this thing all the way up. Do I not have that article? I got everything else but that article. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Hold on. So I gotta find. Because the reason, if you ever see me on Twitter liking and retweeting something, I retweet it so I can keep it. It doesn't mean I agree with it. I retweet it so I can keep it. Oh, let me see if I can find this dang old article. I hate that my bookmarks. Hold on. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. It's not in that one. It's not in that bookmark. All right. So. I need to make sure that I bookmark this real quick. But let me share this real quick. Just for y'all who don't know. That's all I'm going to put up there. All I'm going to put up there. But I'm going to read you this. Now you kind of understand what I said. God dang it. I hate this. Hold on. Why do I have to have a Marvel that's all women? Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Why can't I have Marvels that have both? Why do I need an all black cast? He later said in the interview. Now you see what I'm saying about Marvel. This is the head. This is Disney, who owns Marvel. Right on the button. Right on the button. So that's I'm trying to tell you, they're telling on themselves as we speak.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I was planning on, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. In my YouTube Grifter Part 8, I believe, and I'm going to do Birdman, because Birdman, people say, oh, Birdman has a video that said why is he's a grifter. So I'm gonna do that video tomorrow. Dre Mac reacts. You know, what can it be done? What can be done? Or is that what you're asking? But see, I'm gonna be honest with you, NL Sam. Truth be told, a lot of people with black people with actual money, real money, they're not fooling with this stuff. They're not. Yes, we're having Black Birthday F tonight. We're having Birthday F tonight. But people with real money are not going to. First of all, Disney would never just sell out their black characters. They're not. They would never sell off their black characters. Let's be honest. They're never going to do that. They're never going to push another studio just to do their black art, because then again, optics. So it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's why it would have been interesting in an alternate universe to see what Michael Jackson would have done with Marvel, because he was a fan. Even though he wanted to play Spider-Man, which I would have paid good money to watch, because that would have been the funniest Spider-Man ever. I'm just saying, they're never going to do that. What I believe should happen also is to, if you have a platform, even if you don't like the stuff, even if you don't like the show, don't talk shit on the black character. Why am I saying this? Because when you talk shit on the character, all these grifters, all these racists, they're just going to follow suit. They're just going to follow suit. And if you do it, then it gives them an opportunity for them to do it. So number one, just don't talk shit. Just say, I don't like it. And these are the legitimate reasons why, after I watched the show, this is my criticism. This is my criticism. I couldn't really get with that. Not saying the show was bad. People can like it, but that's not something that I can deal with. Don't call it woke. Don't call it D. Don't use that damn language. Don't use that language. Because then we can't get mad when we're using the same language as them. Because then they be like, shit, they doing it. If black people say it's woke, it might as well be it's woke. They said it's woke. I believe it's woke. Number two, I believe that we should see about other projects that are kind of like Cell and other black projects, if you like fantasy and stuff like that, that, you know, how can I say this? We need to just, if you got black fantasy out there, let's go watch it. If there's a new black fantasy show that's coming out, you know, kind of that comic bookish realm anime, let's talk about it. Let's blow that up. Yep, Children of Blood and Bones got all 3 books right there. Put myself back on stage. But we need to, like I said, you know, we talked about Sally here. You know, the next show that's fantasy and all of that. We're gonna have to be the ones that blow that up. And we can blow up Bad Girls Club or whatever that, you know what I'm saying, whatever the next one is. Why can't we do the next black fantasy, black anime, black comic book that's independent? Why can't we do it? You know, at least have a conversation about it. That's all I'm saying. At least have a conversation about it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, let me wrap it up. Before I wrap it up, let me get to the Sheed with a $10 super chat. Great show as always. Stay in your bag. I appreciate it, my brother Sheed. Appreciate it. And matter of fact, coming back from a long time. Nah, I gotta give you this one. I gotta give you this one, Sheed. I was gonna do one, but I gotta give you this one.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your
Taste the
super chat.
goodness of the biscuit.
Supercell. I still call it Cell. But yeah, appreciate you, She. Supercell, yeah. No, that's not real money. That's not real money. What what's his name? They bought the Weather Channel. Oh God. I see his face. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And my brain is shot. That's real money. That's real money. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Yep, Brian Allen. I was about to call him something else. But yeah, that's real money. Byron Allen's real money. You know, so yeah. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. Of course, my man Chillmonger and Darius is going to come back later on with the morning report. So if you are new to my channel or you're watching me, make sure you go out there and check out the morning report. I believe it comes on 11 o'clock Central. It might be noon Eastern time for Chill. I'm not for sure. But make sure y'all checking out. I'm glad they're doing a morning show. You know what I'm saying? So check out Chill and Darius for Planet Fanatics. You know what they're doing. Make sure to check out Pam Entertainment Television of what she did about the same subject this morning, because they are lying to our face. And I guess we're supposed to just eat this up. You know what I'm saying? But again, tell me what you guys think in the comments, man. What do you think? Am I tripping? Is Kevin Feige lying, even though I got evidence to back all of this up? Y'all put it in the comment section below and let me know what you think. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe power, man. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll be back later on for Blurred AF. Where's my outro at? Look, you already know. I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.